How's it going, gamers? Welcome to the first official episode of the eLink, brought to you by World3Gaming.com. What is the eLink, Blake? What is going on here on your channel? Well, the eLink is basically going to be a weekly video series that I will do, basically compiling some of my favorite esports news and related announcements that I have written over the past week or so over on World3Gaming.com. So I'll kind of be talking about some of my favorite announcements from the esports scene, and yeah, just kind of briefly discussing them here on this channel. Now, without further ado, there are some pretty notable announcements that I want to get into this week, some that are my favorite, my top 3 picks, I guess you can say, and we're going to jump into that now. Hope you guys enjoy it. Destiny players. Are you constantly hitting rank 5 every single time Iron Banner comes around? Are you always going flawless in Trials of Osiris? Are you just in need of a brand new PvP-oriented challenge? Well, if so, the Electronic Sports League might just have that challenge for you. ESL has announced that they will be hosting their first ever online Destiny tournament this Sunday on the PlayStation 4 platform. While only open for European players, this event is set to be one of the first, more organized Destiny tournaments ever since the release of private matches on the title right before the launch of the Rise of Iron expansion. The tournament is set to feature a 4v4 format with both exotic armor as well as heavy weapons banned. While the rule set may seem a little bit questionable to many players, ESL is definitely taking a step in the right direction in terms of supporting the competitive Destiny community. Now, as a player who only plays Destiny, well, I don't want to say only plays Destiny, but as a player who primarily plays Destiny, who has purchased Destiny, all the expansions, and has grind through some of the most infuriating, most repetitive PvE content I've ever played in my entire life, I play primarily only for PvP. As a player who only plays for PvP, has done all of that for PvP, I am definitely really stoked about this. Unfortunately, it is only for European players, but hopefully this is only the beginning in terms of Destiny tournaments hosted by the Electronic Sports League, aka ESL. One problem I do have with this, though, is that there's only so much we can do at the moment with how Destiny currently is set up for competitive play. Now, private matches were definitely a step in the right direction. However, with the release of private matches, we were not given any spectator mode, any spectator option, or spectator client. So there's pretty much no way any of these tournaments can be properly broadcasted. Pretty much it would have to be recorded by a player who's currently playing in the match. Maybe if they die, they can spectate their teammates or whatever. But unfortunately, that's really the only way any footage can be captured from the tournament. So unfortunately, even if ESL did announce an even larger scale Destiny tournament, there's really not much they can do in terms of streaming it or showcasing it to the world, since we're kind of capped with the whole no spectator mode thing. Hopefully this is something that Bungie and Activision will fix once Destiny 2 comes around, maybe towards the end of Destiny Rise of Iron or Destiny 1's lifespan, which is pretty much over at this point since Destiny 2 is pretty much coming out this year. But yeah, definitely Activision, Bungie, if you guys are listening, this is definitely something you guys need to fix if you ever want Destiny to have a future in the esports scene. Now, despite what many people want to believe, Call of Duty esports is taking off, and it seems to keep on growing every single year a brand new Call of Duty title is released. GFINITY has been one of the main driving forces within the competitive Call of Duty community, and they're not stopping in 2017. GFINITY has announced that they have been selected by Activision themselves to be the official host of one of Europe's largest upcoming Call of Duty events, CWL London. The event will officially be a part of this season's Call of Duty World League and is set to take place at the UK GFINITY Arena from January 28th through the 29th. The event is set to be an invitational featuring a prize pool of $25,000 as well as CWL Pro Points. The head of partner relations at GFINITY had the following to say in regards to the announcement. "We are proud to continue working with the CWL. Our team will push to innovate and deliver world-class international esports events that fans around the world would love and that deliver value and joy for our partners. CWL London in January is going to be a great kickoff for us." Now, I'll definitely say, as somebody who's pretty much been keeping up to date and following the NA Call of Duty competitive scene ever since, I want to say, the Black Ops 1 days, the European side of the scene hasn't really gotten that much love from, you know, more larger scale esports organizations. That seems to be something that has been taking off within the past 1 or 2 years or so, and it's great to see that Europe is getting more large scale events. You know, most MLGs, are pretty much all MLGs actually are held on NA shores. So, you know, it's great to see that even though MLG might not be present in Europe yet, it's great to see that other organizations are branching out into the European region and hosting large events for the scene over there, because those European teams, they are a force to be reckoned with. Like, they are really good players. They don't mess around. So it's glad to see that their scene is getting some support as well. Now, despite the recent shakings within the competitive Starcraft 2 community, you know, teams being discontinued, leagues being dropped, and players retiring, the title is still holding its own as an esport, and it seems to be doing even better in 2017. Now, spawning from the infamous Make Korea Great Again tournament series comes an announcement of a brand new tournament series entitled the BaseTrade TV Star League, BSTL in other words. The new league has announced to be powered by Twitch.tv and will continue to keep the weekly tournament format that its predecessor tournament series, Make Korea Great Again, held. The last weekly tournament of the month is set to be a much larger finals than of what the previous tournament series hosted. The series officially kicked off this past Thursday, but registration for the remaining events for the month of January are still open. Now, this is really exciting to hear, and it's glad to see that they actually have Twitch.tv support this time around. It really just shows that, you know, the StarCraft community, the StarCraft 2 community, when they come together, they can definitely make stuff happen. The title is definitely still a very worthy esport. It's definitely really prominent. I just feel like in the past, I feel like a lot of their events, a lot of the how do I word this? I want to say a lot of the driving force and energy behind the StarCraft 2 esports community was based upon all the leagues giving it support. I don't really feel like it was something that was kind of built up from grassroots. I feel like right when the title launched, a lot of leagues just kind of picked it up and started supporting the game. And now that, you know, it's kind of died down a little bit, and, you know, League of Legends came in the fold, Dota 2 came into the fold, and it was kind of dropped off and put on the side for a little bit. Now it's time for the community to rise up once again and start making things happen for this game's competitive scene. And I feel like we're starting to see that now, and I feel like we're definitely going to see even more, you know, smaller scale, medium scale, like tournament leagues forming and beginning to host events for the title in 2017. And I'm definitely really excited to see that. You know, I used to play StarCraft 2 a ton back in like 2014 or 2013, 14, 15. I played quite a bit of StarCraft 2. I don't think I'm ever going to get back into it because it's just way too time consuming, despite it being my favorite. Yeah, I want to say it's probably my favorite competitive video game. I probably won't get back into it due to it being so time consuming, but I definitely love watching it. It's probably the only esport that I could watch for a long period of time, to be honest, aside from like maybe Street Fighter. But you know, it just really makes me happy to see that this game is continuing to go on strong in a different shape or a different form. So definitely real excited for the StarCraft community. You guys keep on going, keep on pushing forward, build, create, and trust me, the community will follow, the community will support. StarCraft 2 community is one of the most loyalist communities ever. Anyway, that does it for my rant. That does it for this week's episode of the eLink. Now, if you guys have any suggestions about the show, if you have any suggestions about the series, you can drop them down in the comments below. If there's some news that I didn't cover that you might want to that you think should be covered next week, drop me an article, drop me a link, drop me a source, drop me anything, and I will do my best to cover it in next week's episode. Also, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please be sure to do that, as you know, I'm trying to upload as much content as I can per week. Trying to aim at 5 videos per week, and like I said, these are planned to be a weekly thing depending on, you know, how much esports news we're getting each and every week. I kind of tend to like to cover more tournament announcements based things, more community announcements based things. I don't really like to stick to, you know, the whole, oh, this player got dropped, this player got picked up, because that kind of stuff just happens all the time. It's always shifting. The esports community is always shifting in terms of teams and their players. But yeah, that pretty much does it for me this week, guys. Thanks for watching. You guys keep on gaming. Drop the video a like, dislike, depending on how you feel about it, and I will see you guys hopefully in the next video. You guys have a good one.